What's good, everybody? I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Once again, it's K Stu the Goat Stewart V for Vernon Speak Sports. And, we're still bowling, baby, as Georgia takes on Texas in the Sugar Bowl. Now, what a lot of you all might not know is that Georgia and Texas actually haven't played each other often, as surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, because Texas is one of the better storied football teams in the country, as they actually lead the series. It's not particularly a series, but I guess if you play more than 4 games against one another, you can kind of call it a series. Texas leads this series 3-1. But in some other games, I was thinking about the LSU and UCF. I'm thankful that LSU won that game, but when you really think about it, 40-32 just will not shut the UCF fans up. They're still going to pull that moral victory. We didn't have Mackenzie Milton. We didn't have this, that, and the other. So they're still going to be roaring. Yeah, we competed. That's a whole nother video. But right now we're going to talk about Georgia and Texas. I think Georgia's in good hands with Jake Fromm, who has 2,537 yards. But outside of his statistical prowess with Georgia, I think he is a very good leader. And he refuses to lose, and he plays the game with an uncanny amount of intensity and an amount of focus, which I think is going to spell very dangerously for Texas. Now, the biggest question for me right now, and I caught wind of this, I didn't know about this until this year with Georgia. The biggest question for me right now is for the Georgia Bulldogs, man, after having a great season, well, we'll say a good season, after having a very, very, very good season, almost great. Can you hunker down one more time, dogs? And I believe with a guy like DeAndre Swift as your running back, I'm afraid you can. I think you're really going to hunker down, because I think DeAndre Swift adds just a game-breaking element to the Georgia Bulldogs, which could easily spell trouble for Texas. Now, here's the situation. Georgia is going to be without Jim Thorpe Award winner DeAndre Baker. He decides, hey, I want to sit this thing out because I'm going to the NFL. I'm done with this. No, championship implications in this game, so I'm going to sit this out. But that absolutely does not mean that Georgia does not have enough talent around them to make this a very, very, very physical game. I think they're going to break away in this football game, and I think they have more than enough to take on these Texas Longhorns. Now, here's the thing. Texas is led by Sam Ehlinger, who, he's got 3,100 yards, but that really, now I'm not an SEC bias kind of guy, but I go by what I see. I'm not sure how much that means coming out of the Big 12. The physicality of the SEC has proven itself even in this bowl game, which I think, could spell trouble for Texas, who are taking on Georgia, who I don't think Georgia's looking at this as a revenge game. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think Georgia is coming to this game to finish business, to complete the process. They have a process going on. They've had some great recruiting classes, and the results thereof have shown up on the field. And I think this is going to be very, very evident in this game today as the Georgia Bulldogs try to solidify themselves as a continual SEC power and as a national contender year in and year out. Just a play or two away from being right back in the college football playoffs, probably playing against Alabama again. And they know how close they were. And they know how important winning this particular football game will be to their program. And I'm not talking about no winning by in overtime or winning by a field goal, baby. I'm talking about domination. So you know how we do it. It's prediction time. Now, when I look at this particular game, I've kind of halfway followed Texas. I think they're a pretty good football team. They're not a very good football team. They're a pretty good football team. So what does that mean? I think they're going to give Georgia a challenge for a little while. But what's going to happen is Georgia has started to surge ever since that Kentucky game. You started to really see them take things to the next level. I think they really hit it big in the second half. Well, actually at the end of the first half against Auburn. And they really have have started to surge, and they really showed up better than anyone could have potentially asked for against Alabama. That can be very troublesome and problematic for Texas. So how do I see this game going? Texas is not bad on defense, but they're not particularly good. But I just don't think, with the way Georgia is going to be very, very focused in this game, I don't think Texas has a chance to keep this game close. We're talking about mid-second quarter onto the third. Georgia starts to impose its will against Texas. Final score, 48-21. I think Georgia has to make a statement. That hunker down mentality has to be in place in this particular game, and I think it will be. Congratulations, Georgia, on your win in this particular game. I think this will be incredible for Georgia's program. I'm just joking. I can't crown a team a win, before the game starts. But I think Georgia will win this football game here in the Sugar Bowl. This game will take place probably in about 30 or 45 minutes. Once again, it's Casey the Goat Stewart V for Vernon Speak Sports. Like, comment, and subscribe. We still got a lot more to talk about as we still bowling, baby. And we still got a lot more games to go. You all have a good night and be safe. Make sure you put your seatbelts on. Y'all take care. Bye.